This is Blackjacks Weekly.
Presented by Bud Light on 97.3 ESPN.
Live from Chickies and Pete's in Egg Harbor Township. With your hosts, the voice of the Blackjacks, Nick Kosko.
And head coach Ron James.
Now, Blackjacks Weekly.
Live from Chickies and Pete's in Egg Harbor Township, it is Blackjacks Weekly presented by Bud Light. I'm your host, Nick Kosko, joined alongside, as always, by Atlantic City Blackjacks head coach Ron James. Coach, glad to be with you. This is crazy. I can't believe we're already 2 games in, and we're moving right along.
Well, these things fly by. You know, we're already in the first quarter of the season. When you think about it, at 3 games in, we got 12 to play in the regular season. So, you know, it does go by quickly, but at the same time, we're happy to be at this juncture, 1-1. Feel like we should be 2-0, but you know that's the way it works in this league sometimes, and we just got to get on to this week.
Right, it's all about momentum. Obviously, it lost week 1, but a nice win this past weekend at home against Columbus. Washington's upcoming on the road in D.C. this Saturday. Of course, you can catch that coverage right here on 97.3 ESPN. Coverage beginning at 6:30 p.m. Kickoff set for 7 o'clock. So, Coach, let's go back to this past weekend. We'll start there. First home game ever for the Blackjacks, right there at Boardwalk Hall in front of 6,100 fans. It was a great atmosphere for the first home game. You got to love it, and you guys came away with the W against also another expansion team in Columbus. Tell me about that atmosphere and that first home game for the Blackjacks.
Well, we couldn't have been more pumped to play at Boardwalk Hall. I mean, Boardwalk Hall is one of the most historic venues you're ever going to play a football game in, and to be a part of that was something great. And this is something these guys are going to remember their whole lives, to be a part of a first. And I told them early in the season, I said, we're going to be a part of a lot of firsts. We got the first win ever, which was great for us. We understand exactly what we have to do here to get our first road win. But all these things that we're doing right now are going to establishing first and establishing benchmarks for this franchise.
Now, let's talk about that atmosphere a little bit, because people who know about Boardwalk Hall from the South Jersey area, from Atlantic City, they know, as you mentioned, it's a very historic arena, and believe it or not, there was a college bowl game played there with a full 100-yard field way back in the day. Before that, I don't know how they worked around it. It's actually kind of mind-blowing how they put it in there. But when they put that field down, and we were in there throughout the week checking it out, first the boards are up, then all of a sudden the turf's down, then finally the nets and all the iron is up, and then you look at it and wow, it's a great arena football atmosphere. And then you guys are out there for pregame warm-ups, soaking it all in. That the historic stage right there in the background. The floor side seats are up, and all of a sudden the fans start piling in, and you guys walk out for introductions. I haven't heard a louder arena. I haven't heard it that loud in that arena, aside from a couple monumental upsets in a high school wrestling tournament when they hold the state tournament there. I mean, it was unbelievably loud in there for a first-time game.
Yeah, it really was. I think we took the fans by surprise. You know, the fans went in with certain expectations. I think we met or exceeded their expectations. Everybody I've talked to has just had a great experience with the game. And, you know, it's great to be a part of that. But, you know, walking out there, I think that the whole crew at Boardwalk Hall did an exceptional job of laying that field down. There was not a wrinkle on the field. It's brand new. They did a great job of putting the boards up. Everything looked seamless, looked flawless. My hats off to that group that put it down, and they were tremendous. And our fans really enjoyed that. Our players enjoyed it. We fed off the fans. It was a symbiotic relationship for 4 quarters between our players and our fans.
It seemed like the fans already bought in immediately, especially after the only blunder of that game was the opening kickoff, where Columbus recovered the opening kickoff after it took a weird bounce, and the crowd was almost dead silent. They're like, well, we're trying to cheer this team on. Here's a turnover. But then once you guys score that first touchdown, go up 7-6 after the first drive, they're right back into it, and they're like, okay, let's get on their backs. Let's ride this wave of momentum to the very end.
Well, I told the players, I said they're going to be highs and lows, and we just got to, you know, ride through them both. And to have that low in the beginning of the game, our players didn't flinch. They looked at it and said, okay, that's part of the game, and if that's all they got, that's great, bring it. So, you know, we were in a situation where, you know, our players looked at it and said, you know what, they're going to have a lot of luck to beat us. They got a lot of luck, but they still couldn't beat us. So I think we were pretty grateful for the turnarounds that we had during the game, and for the attitude that our players have.
What kind of improvements did you see from week 1 to week 2? I know week 1, guys go up against the Philadelphia Soul on the road. Only a couple turnovers probably prevented you guys from winning that first game on the road, but then you cleaned it up for week 2. What other improvements did you see from week 1 in that loss to week 2, where you guys get a win and now you can prepare once again now for Washington coming this Saturday?
Well, one of the biggest improvements is sitting right in front of you. I mean, Monte Lewis, that whole defensive line, they came to play. And when you look at the difference between game 1 and game 2, when you've got a quarterback that's uncomfortable, you got a rookie quarterback that's back there, might hold the ball a little bit longer. They're doing a lot more 5-step than Philadelphia does. Then these guys get to get off the ball a little bit and make some plays. Monte, Antron, and of course Trail made terrific plays during the course of the football game. And our defensive line was the difference when you watched game 1 versus game 2. When the defensive line was able to get off and get their pass rush going, they were very difficult to contain.
And defensive end Monte Lewis will join us in the next segment. He had 3 sacks and a forced fumble. Defensive Player of the Week in the Arena Football League. So hats off to him, and he'll be joining us on the program in about 7 minutes or so. So we look ahead now, Coach, to this week on the road in D.C. Team leaves tomorrow, get acclimated to the town, and then all of a sudden it's game time, 7 o'clock Saturday night, Washington. Believe it or not, despite the fact they won 2 games in the regular season last year, they were the Arena Bowl champions. Do you guys have a little extra juice knowing that you can knock off the defending champs here in their home arena?
Well, I think the motivation comes from when they're going to raise that banner right before our game and show everybody that they won the championship last year. And that's enough motivation for any professional athlete to be in the house of the defending champs and know that they have to play a good football game. So it's early in the season, definitely a stern test for us, but we know we're up for the challenge.
Now, looking at their offense, one of your guys, Warren Smith, he was the backup quarterback for them just last year. Has he provided you with any additional insight to what they run offensively in order for you guys to prepare for Washington this week?
Well, it's a different team, and Warren gives some insight as to the players he played with before. But other than that, scheme-wise, they got a different play caller than they had last year. They do have the same quarterback and a few of the same receivers. And so there's a lot of continuity there, and Washington came back to have their victory lap after winning the Arena Bowl. So most of those guys did return to the Valor, and that's great for them. But we don't take anything from what happened last year into this game. We only have to look forward to knowing the personnel that they play with. And I happen to know the quarterback very well because Arvell Nelson was my quarterback back at 14. And so, he's developed into one of the elite quarterbacks in this league, and he's a dual threat. So we have to be up for that challenge. We have to be up for the challenge that all those veteran players bring at their home house. I mean, it's going to be a tough game for us. We know that. We just have to play well.
Now, for the fans that saw the game at Boardwalk Hall this past weekend, even fans that did not see any arena football in their lives, can you talk to the point of Nelson? You mentioned he's a dual-threat quarterback. Now, generally, you don't see too much running in the Arena Football League due to the field's only 50 yards long. It's a little bit skinnier. You're indoors. There's boards, and there's really not much room to run other than just to air the ball out 90% of the time. But a guy who's a dual-threat quarterback in this league, it's almost a little bit more valuable than it is in the outdoor game because you're expecting a pass every time, and all of a sudden if a guy takes off, everyone's dropped back into coverage. There's about 10, 15 yards to go in front of him for him to run for open turf. I mean, is that a huge advantage for Washington knowing that Nelson is that dual threat type of quarterback?
It's only a big advantage if our defensive line allows it to be an advantage and gives them rush lanes, because Arvell is one of the best athletes in the game, period. He played jack linebacker for me also, in 14 as a backup quarterback, ran down on kicks, did everything. He's
old school Iron Man.
He really is, and as a quarterback, he's really developed and he's pretty flawless in his mechanics, but he's 6'5", 250. People don't realize how big he is. So he gets in the open field.
He's a pretty large quarterback.
Yeah, you can't just take him down with an arm tackle. He's a big dude, got a big strong arm, and he likes to show it off. So, he poses a big challenge for us this week, but, we know that our guys are up for that, and we've been studying a lot of film on him.
Now, talk about Monte's performance from just last week. You go into there, obviously the entire defense played really well. You guys have had an outstanding defense in the first 2 weeks so far. You mentioned before Linden Trail, huge pick six. The crowd exploded. I thought the roof was going to fall off the place. That was a big turning point in the game. But you look at a guy like Monte Lewis. You mentioned Antron Dillon as well. These guys were all over the place, all over the quarterback. It was completely different from week one because they were actually able to get after the quarterback against Columbus. Talk about Monte's performance against Columbus.
Well, I had Monte back in 2017, and I've seen him play in this league before that, so I know he's a dynamic player. I think one of the things that's helped Monte out, and he'll probably tell you this too, is the fact that he's been a personal trainer and works at one of the best facilities in Tampa in the offseason has enabled him to be in the best shape he's ever been in. So that's one of the things that I like seeing from him. I know his athleticism is there, the raw talent is there, but this year he seems to be on a mission, and I could say the same with Antron, his buddy. and Trail, the group that we have, they're hard working. And Cesar Rayford, the defensive line coach, he played for me before. He's one of the hardest workers that I've ever had in arena football, and all that kind of rubs off. All these guys feed off one another, and I love that atmosphere they have in that room. I love the camaraderie. I love how they make each other work on a daily basis. So, it's not even a surprise to me that Monte had a big game, because I know everyone in that group could have a big game from time to time, and I know that he's just scratching the surface of what he can do.
When people think arena football, they think high scoring, fast action, but when they think of the Atlantic City Blackjacks so far, they think of scoring and outstanding defense, particularly from the guys on the defensive line. All right, we are going to step aside and take a quick break. Monte Lewis will join me in the next segment. We'll talk about his home debut as well as his outstanding performance, 3 sacks and a forced fumble, him being named Defensive Player of the Week, and much more. Make sure to keep it locked. Listening to Blackjacks Weekly, live from Chickies and Pete's in Egg Harbor Township, presented by Bud Light, right here on 97.3 ESPN.
Listen to Sixers playoff basketball.
Bang, it's good.
Exclusively on 97.3 ESPN.
It's Sixers Raptors.
Game 6 tonight in the second round of the Eastern Conference playoffs.
It's Sixers Raptors. Game 6. Coverage begins at 8 p.m.
With the radio voice of the 76ers, Tom McInnes, calling the action.
Jimmy Butler has done it again. Timeout Toronto. On 97.3 ESPN.
Your radio home for Sixers playoff basketball.
Ever wonder what ingredients are in Bud Light? Just check the packaging. We brew with hops, barley, water, and rice. Ever wonder what ingredients are in Coors Light? You can't check the packaging. You have to go to their website, download a PDF, and scroll to page 3. There it is. Coors Light brews with hop extract, barley, water, and corn syrup. Bud Light, brewed with no corn syrup. Enjoy responsibly. Bud Light Beer, AB, St. Louis, Missouri. Based on information available at MillerCoors.com as of January 16, 2019.
Tilton Fitness, the official gym of the Atlantic City Blackjack players and Diamonds Dance Team, invites you to visit one of our 7 locations throughout New Jersey. Try one of Tilton Fitness's award-winning group exercise classes with over 125 to choose from every week. Use our state-of-the-art cardio and resistance equipment. Take a swim in our pool. Relax in our jacuzzi, steam room, or sauna. And complimentary babysitting for up to 2 hours. Tilton Fitness. See what we have to offer you.
Lumber Liquidators Flooring Company is now open in Cape May. We have a flooring solution for every style and every room, like beautiful Bella Wood hardwood, AquaSeal water-resistant laminate, waterproof vinyl, and more, all at the lowest possible prices. From start to finish, our flooring experts will understand your vision, help you select the right floor, and even arrange the installation. Lumber Liquidators, we are beautiful floors for less. Now open in the Acme Shopping Plaza.
Mom's the word at JCPenney. Time is running out to find a gift Mom will love, like $10 cultured freshwater pearl studs for rewards members. Not a member? It's easy to join. Or pick up something for yourself with 50% off select women's apparel. Save even more with your $10 off $25 coupon waiting for you in your JCPenney app wallet. This Thursday through Sunday, celebrate Mom at JCPenney. Offers valid 5/9 to 5/12. $10 pearl studs excluded from coupon. Other exclusions apply. See store or jcp.com for details.
The doctors at Reconstructive Orthopedics are dedicated to getting you expert orthopedic care you need for your bone, joint, muscle, or ligament injury or condition. When you need exceptional care focused on you, see the same orthopedic doctors that treat the Atlantic City Blackjacks at Reconstructive Orthopedics. Available in Bordentown, Cherry Hill, Medford, Morristown, Sewell, Vineland, and Voorhees. Reconstructive Orthopedics, focused on you.
Ever wonder what ingredients are in Bud Light? Just check the packaging. We brew with hops, barley, water, and rice. Ever wonder what ingredients are in Coors Light? You can't check the packaging. You have to go to their website, download a PDF, and scroll to page 3. There it is. Coors Light brews with hop extract, barley, water, and corn syrup. Bud Light, brewed with no corn syrup. Enjoy responsibly. Bud Light Beer, AB, St. Louis, Missouri. Based on information available at MillerCoors.com as of January 16, 2019.
Want an easy way to see if you could save money on car insurance? Geico gives you 3. Call 1-800-947-AUTO, go online to geico.com, or stop by the Geico office nearest you. 3 ways you could save 15% or more. This is Blackjacks Weekly.
Presented by Bud Light on 97.3 ESPN.
Live from Chickies and Pete's in Egg Harbor Township.
Russell takes the snap, back to throw, and he is hit from behind, sacked again by Lewis, and the ball's out, and Dylan's got it. Dylan's got it. The Blackjacks get it right back. Back here at Chickies and Pete's in Egg Harbor Township. Blackjacks Weekly presented by Bud Light. Host Nick Kosko. Joining me now on the program is defensive end Monte Lewis. Monte, thanks for joining me, man.
Thanks for having me, man.
Did you like that call? I mean, I got pretty excited. I mean, you got me almost wanted to jump out and get back down onto the field with your 3 sacks last week.
Yeah. It was felt really great, man. Especially to go ahead and get it out of the way in the first home opener, man. So we had a lot of energy there coming from the fans, and fed off of those guys, and fortunately able to have a productive game.
I had to ask you. I know we were talking before the show started. Having that first game for all the guys in Boardwalk Hall. You guys obviously were in there checking out the arena throughout the week. Field was falling down. You guys were testing it out, taking pictures. Just soaking the whole moment in. What was it like when you guys actually ran out of that tunnel for the first time for real and to play an actual football game inside Boardwalk Hall?
Man, it felt great. Well, first of all, just being home. Like, you always got to protect your home, and knowing that we were going to be out there on that field. We had an opportunity to do it that night, and like Coach talked about, he talked to us during the week, like it's going to be a lot of firsts this game. First home opener, first game, in that arena for our team. Just a lot of firsts, and so it felt great to come out there and to be able to do it and come out the field with a victory.
Speaking of first, you're the first member of the Blackjacks to be named Player of the Week offensively or defensively because of your 3 sacks and the forced fumble, a big turning point in that game. And you knocked Russell, I think, 20 yards backwards somehow, just absolutely flattened him. And you were all over the place making sacks. You were making tackles. I mean, again, one of the best performances of the season so far. Talk about what got into you in that game. Obviously, this is the talent level that you can play at. This is your potential in every single game. But what happened in that game that allowed you just to see all these open lanes? And I mean, you were literally in Russell's face. It seemed like, I would say, every third or every other play.
It was just that itch to get off the ball because week 1 playing a team like Philly where they 3-step a lot of quick passes and screens, and then like you come to this game and there's a guy back there holding the ball 5-stepping, so like eyes were like wide open, like he's going to be there. So only thing I got to do is beat the man in front of me and make the play. But the guys that line up beside me week in and week out, like they drive me. Like young guy like Nick Hag, like love playing with this guy. Like he brings like the most energy, man, and I really feed off of him, and everyone does. And so it just playing with those guys, knowing who they are and knowing how bad they want to see us succeed, and some of those guys like look up to me. So I'm like, I can't go out here and let these guys down. And then I got a veteran guy, Antron, with me, and we're very close, and we always talk about hey, let's make a play. So had an opportunity to do that, and we made it happen.
I was about to ask you about your good buddy Antron Dillon. He plays opposite you on the other side at the other defensive end position. We mentioned guys before like Lyndon Trail who's also in there. Nick Hag, I'm glad you brought him up too, because it seems like all these guys on defense, you and Antron were very close. You guys fire everybody up, but Nick is a guy. It's almost like he's a wild card type of guy because he is just so everybody on that defense just feeds off each other, and it's team chemistry on that defensive side of the ball right now.
Right. Yeah, definitely. We definitely feed off each other. And the thing about this group is there's a lot of camaraderie, a lot of good chemistry, and nobody on that D-line is selfish. Like, we all want to see each other make plays. And so, whether it's Antron or Nick, Trail, Trey, or Rumpf, those guys make a play, like, everybody's going to be over there. Like, nobody's going to be selfish or, mad that they didn't make the play. So that's probably the biggest thing. We all want to see each other, eat.
What was that like with knowing that you had that big sack, you forced the fumble, and your good buddy Antron picks it up, and all of a sudden you guys, it turned the tide of the game a little bit there?
It was great. Once I made the play, like, I came off the field and I sat down, and, like, Antron was still out there running around, and he bought me the ball. Like, so it was really great, and he was very happy for me. And, I'm just glad to have him as a teammate and a friend.
What's it mean to you to be the Defensive Player of the Week throughout the entire league? I know you're just giving a lot of credit to your teammates.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's almost like one of those awards that you probably wish you could share with the entire defense there.
It felt great, man. Back in 2017, I was actually player of the game. And so, this is just a step higher. Went from player of the game to player of the week. So, it's an accomplishment and a goal that I can mark off my list.
Now, you mentioned before back in 2017, you've played under Coach James before. What's it been like for you coming into a new situation with Atlantic City, a brand new franchise, but you do have some familiarity with Coach James. What's that mean to you?
It means a lot. Even though it's a new team and, a new situation, like being that I've played for Coach James before, I already knew what I was going to get. I knew what he expected of me, and I knew what I was going to get from him. And, honestly, being in this league, like, he's been a very straightforward coach, and that's why I had no problem playing for him again, because I knew exactly what I was going to get, and I knew, that he wasn't, going to, treat me any different from when I was in Tampa, and I knew he was going to be straightforward with me about everything, and so far it's been good, and I'm looking forward to continue playing the rest of the season with you.
You've been here a couple months now in Atlantic City. What's the experience been like for you being in Atlantic City compared to your other stops in the Arena Football League? Obviously, you played your college ball at Jacksonville State, right, too. What's Atlantic City? How is it different from basically any other place in the Arena Football League right now?
Atlantic City has been great. Everyone has been so welcoming. Like, I've been out in public places and people know who we are, and that's a big plus. It's like, even when I don't have on my, my blackjack gear, like, people were like, "Hey, do you play for this new team that's here?" And I'm like, yeah. So everyone has been very welcoming, and you don't get that at a lot of places. Even with some of the teams that I've played on that have been more established, like, you will go out and they might not know about the Arena Football League or the teams, but here it seems like everyone knows something about the Atlantic City Blackjacks.
Glad to have you aboard. All right, we're going to take another quick break. On the other side, we'll bring back Coach James. We'll keep Monte on as well. Talk about this upcoming game against Washington on Saturday. Make sure to keep it locked. You're listening to Blackjacks Weekly, presented by Bud Light, live from Chickies and Pete's in Egg Harbor Township, right here on 97.3 ESPN.
Atlantic City Blackjacks football is on 97.3 ESPN. Listen all season as the voice of the Blackjacks, Nick Kosko and Coffee Jones, bring you all the exciting play-by-play action.
Quarterback seek over the goal line. Touchdown, Blackjacks.
The Blackjacks are in the nation's capital to face the Valor.
This Saturday, kickoff at 7 p.m. It's Atlantic City Blackjacks Arena League football
on 97.3 ESPN.
We're all in.
Ever wonder what ingredients are in Bud Light? Just check the packaging. We brew with hops, barley, water, and rice. Ever wonder what ingredients are in Coors Light? You can't check the packaging. You have to go to their website, download a PDF, and scroll to page 3. There it is. Coors Light brews with hop extract, barley, water, and corn syrup. Bud Light, brewed with no corn syrup. Enjoy responsibly. Bud Light Beer, AB, St. Louis, Missouri. Based on information available at MillerCoors.com as of January 16, 2019.
Tilton Fitness, the official gym of the Atlantic City Blackjack players and Diamonds Dance Team, invites you to visit one of our 7 locations throughout New Jersey. Try one of Tilton Fitness's award-winning group exercise classes with over 125 to choose from every week. Use our state-of-the-art cardio and resistance equipment. Take a swim in our pool. Relax in our jacuzzi, steam room, or sauna. And complimentary babysitting for up to 2 hours. Tilton Fitness. See what we have to offer you.
Roses are red. Violets are blue. If you're looking for a great vehicle, Matt Blatt Kia is the place for you.
April showers might bring May flowers, but they also bring spring savings at Matt Blatt Kia of Toms River and Matt Blatt Kia in Egg Harbor Township. Bring us your trade, even if you owe thousands more than it's worth. Right now, you can lease a 2019 Kia Forte LX for only $199 per month for 36 months with zero total due at signing, zero security deposit, and zero first payment. You simply can't make a mistake. Plus, Matt Blatt Kia has the all-new Kia Telluride in stock. Matt Blatt Kia always offers our 4-day love it or leave it return policy. If you have a job clearing $400 per week, Matt Blatt Kia wants to help you during the summer sticker sales event.
It's gotta be a Matt Blatt Kia.
Dial 888-703-6459 or go to mattblattkianj.com for complete details on offers. Expires 6/3/2019. Matt Blatt Kia, 6211 Black Horse Pike, Egg Harbor Township.
The doctors at Reconstructive Orthopedics are dedicated to getting you expert orthopedic care you need for your bone, joint, muscle, or ligament injury or condition. When you need exceptional care focused on you, see the same orthopedic doctors that treat the Atlantic City Blackjacks at Reconstructive Orthopedics. Available in Bordentown, Cherry Hill, Medford, Morristown, Sewell, Vineland, and Voorhees. Reconstructive Orthopedics, focused on you.
Ever wonder what ingredients are in Bud Light? Just check the packaging. We brew with hops, barley, water, and rice. Ever wonder what ingredients are in Coors Light? You can't check the packaging. You have to go to their website, download a PDF, and scroll to page 3. There it is. Coors Light brews with hop extract, barley, water, and corn syrup. Bud Light, brewed with no corn syrup. Enjoy responsibly. Bud Light Beer, AB, St. Louis, Missouri. Based on information available at MillerCoors.com as of January 16, 2019.
If you win the Mega Millions jackpot, you could celebrate by taking all of your friends out for a nice Italian meal in Rome. With $295 million on the line, anything can happen in Jersey.
This is Blackjacks Weekly.
Presented by Bud Light on 97.3 ESPN.
Live from Chickies and Pete's in Egg Harbor Township.
Back here at Chickies and Pete's in Egg Harbor Township, it's Blackjacks Weekly presented by Bud Light. Nick Kosko alongside head coach Ron James and, of course, defensive end Monte Lewis. Great conversations with the both of them. You can catch the game this weekend, Saturday, on the road in Washington, D.C. as the Blackjacks take on the Valor at 7 p.m. That's when kickoff is, and, of course, coverage will begin at 6:30 p.m. right here on 97.3 ESPN. Catch me and Coffee Jones on the call for that one. Of course, Marquez Williams joining us in the booth for postgame as well. So, gentlemen, big game this week. First look at the Valor this season. It's on the road. Again, Coach, you mentioned before, they're going to be raising the banner, maybe a little motivation for you guys in Atlantic City to knock them off their high horse a little bit. I would say that's a nice little motivation technique right there.
Well, it's a little bit of it. You know, when you look at it, and Monte could probably tell you better than I can, from a player's perspective, I think a ceremony is a ceremony. They're not rubbing anybody's face in it. He was with the team last year that didn't win the Arena Bowl, and maybe that does motivate a couple guys. We have some Baltimore players from last year on our team. You know, whatever it takes. I mean, some people get stirred up about things like that. Some people are blasé about it. So, you know, from a player's perspective, Monte, you could probably tell us a little bit better. Is that going to motivate you at all?
You know, I'm just one of those guys that,
see,
you know, I'm the laid back guy. So, you know, like Coach said, a ceremony is just a ceremony. But I'm not going to, you know, take any different approach to this game as I do any other game. So
just want to win. Win's a win.
Yeah,
that's all it is.
No doubt.
What was that like last year when you were in Baltimore and you came up short in the Arena Bowl?
Well, it was a little hard for me because that's the second one I lost in a row. So 2 in a row definitely isn't good. But
hopefully third time's the charm this year.
Yeah, the third it will be the charm. It will be. It definitely will be. So you got to get that bitter taste out of my mouth.
It seems like a lot of guys now are quote-unquote ring chasing. We were talking to Mark Lewis a couple weeks ago. I mean, he was like, you know, I played in this league for 15 years, and I just want to ring at this point.
Right.
I mean, at least he feels like there's a good shot with this team as well.
Right.
Good for you guys to go all the way here.
Right, yeah, definitely. I agree with Mark. Like, I've been playing with Mark since 2015, so we've kind of been in that same boat. But this team right here is definitely something special, and I don't see why we shouldn't win it.
Is he the practice clown? I mean, I was out there today.
Mark?
You guys were doing a little team walkthrough near the end of practice, getting live looks, kind of live looks. He's walking around. He's like pulling his jersey up over his head like a hood. I mean, what's he doing when he's not kicking? Just
Mark's part coach. He's part clown. He's part kicker. I mean, he just loves the game. That's why he's still doing it. You know, he's been around the league for a long time. So a lot of fun to see him and these guys interact. Just a lot of fun as a coach.
You gotta love it. Of course, you can catch Mark Lewis and the rest of the Blackjacks, of course, this Saturday, May 11th, 7 p.m. set for kickoff as the Atlantic City Blackjacks take on the Washington Valor. Of course, coverage will begin right here on 97.3 ESPN at 6:30 p.m. And, of course, the next home game, May 18th, also at 7 p.m. Pregame starting at 6:30 against Baltimore, May 18th, the following Saturday. I want to give a big thanks to defensive end Monte Lewis for joining the program. Of course, a big thanks to Coach James for doing this every single week. The 1-1 Blackjacks take on the 0-2 Washington Valor this Saturday, 7 p.m. Coverage right here on 97.3 ESPN. We'll see you next week. I'm Nick Kosko. You've been listening to Blackjacks Weekly, presented by Bud Light, live from Chickies and Pete's in Egg Harbor Township on 97.3 ESPN.